Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Irish Warriors MMA show. We have Andreas Binder here. Andreas, you've won the double champ status in LFL over last weekend. I think everyone's wanting to know what's next for Andreas Binder.
Yeah, so we won it. That's another fucking thing off the bucket list signed off. And yeah, we're gonna sit down with the team now and discuss what's next for us. Like we have so many options now and see what's the best plan for us and what's the next move. But all I know is it's gonna be a very busy 2025 and very exciting 2025 for myself and my team.
Could we have any hints that possibly where we'll see Andreas fighting? Will it be on the LFL again? Will you defend the belts, or will you possibly move on to bigger events or promotions?
I guess you're going to have to wait until 2025 and see. Like I said, we haven't made any decisions at the moment. We have a lot of options, but that's kind of like my manager Paul and Rod to decide. So then we just sit down for a meeting and see what's the best route for us and what's there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So obviously the win was fantastic. You finished your man. Was there a moment during the fight that you felt this is it, it's over for him before you knocked him out, or how were you feeling during the fight? Walk us through how you went from walking into that cage to putting your man on his ass.
Um, yeah, so like every little sequence that I've done in that fight, every movement, everything just fell into place. We've been drilling this in training months leading up to it, you know. Obviously we look back at videos of him and stuff, and he just had repetitive movement and different patterns. So like we kind of like download all the information in the first round, and I knew he's always kind of like leaning to one side, you know what I mean? So when I landed the first crack in the first round with that big overhand right, which is my specialty, I sat him down. So I was like, right, second round, we're gonna get the finish because he was just doing the repetitive movement. So we just we were ready for everything. Do you know what I mean? We trained so hard. We were in camp since April, really, when I fought Victor Kuku. That was my last fight in April, and then since then I went straight back into camp, and I was ready for anyone. And yeah, it just fell into place. You know, when you have such a fantastic coach in my corner, like that he sees everything to a T. You just listen to him, you're bound to win. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was just perfect, a perfect camp, perfect night.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm very glad to see you win. It was another big moment for Irish MMA. So you've been training with elite fighters and elite coaches in your gym over the years. How do you think your game has evolved over these kind of past couple of years? Do you think you have specialized in a striking or grappling kind of game, or is there anywhere that you focused on particularly that you are especially proud of?
Yeah, so like starting off my whole MMA career, like even as an amateur and stuff, I was predominantly a grappler. Like I had no zero striking growing up, or not just growing up, but like zero striking in general. And then I started falling more in love with the striking aspect of it. And obviously joining SBE Charlestown there 4 years ago, or just over 4 years, it developed my striking big time. So I'm not, I'm not a specific, like by trade, I will be a grappler. But now I'm like knocking people out for fun. So I'm getting people to think of my striking too, you know. But that's the beauty of MMA. You have to be all rounded. But obviously, being coming from a martial arts background like a judo or any martial arts coming into MMA, it's you kind of have that advantage. You know what I mean? Because you can always fall back to your roots and be like, right, if the striking doesn't work, I can fall back on this. Or if you're a striker and the grappling doesn't work, you can fall back to your striking. So there's always going to be room for improvements, and I'm always evolving and improving every day. But I definitely notice I'm more mature, more composed in fights. I'm not rushing into like a striking battle. I'm more calculated in everything, you know. So wherever the fight goes, I'm ready, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So, in terms of mental preparation, when you're preparing for a fight, especially like something like a double champ status, how what goes through your head in those weeks, kind of coming up to that fight, and then in those couple days before? Is it anxiety, or is it just flat calm? Are you just calm, composed, ready to do what you've been training for?
I think it's a mix of emotions, really. Like it could, I could have phases of being really anxious and really like nervous, but in a good way because I'm trying to perform on my best in front of my friends and family and stuff. But yet again, sometimes I would be like very calm and disciplined and be like, oh, I've worked so hard for this, you know. But it's just, I think it goes through every fighter's mindset. It's how you deal with it. And I was lucky enough that I had a very long amateur career, so I managed to develop my game a bit more and deal with pressure differently and stuff. But this camp, I was very calm. I was very collected. I was very smart in my training. Then, like say, maybe 2 weeks out, then I started getting those butterflies in my stomach of excitement and stuff. Then maybe a week out, I was like nervous, but it's all mixed. And then when you let all that go and you go in the cage and that cage door locks, it's only you and your opponent. So you forget about everything and you forget about, oh, I need to show this to my friends and family and stuff. It's you versus the man in theirs, and that's it really. But no, I felt very calm in there, very composed. I felt all the hard work was done, so now it was just time to showcase my talent, you know.
Yeah, yeah. After such a big win over the weekend, what was the first thing you did to celebrate? Did you go out, or did you kind of stay in and go just chill out for the night, or
Uh,
what was going through your head at the moment
I,
you won the belts, and they were kind of you were sitting there in the
um,
cage, both belts in the shoulders.
what did I do? I think as soon as I knocked him out, I went over to him, gave him a hug, and just showed my respect and stuff because he was such a nice guy. Then afterwards, before I even got the belts and everything, I jumped over the cage, ran over to my family, gave my missus a kiss, and all my friends a big hug. And then afterwards, man, was just literally went back to the hotel, had a couple of drinks with all my friends and family that came over. Like that's the thing. Like I always have a big fan base and support that follows me since my first amateur career. So I'm really grateful for that. But then just some quiet ones, just chill at the hotel. Then went for some sauna and swimming the next morning just to kind of loosen up the body and stuff. And yeah, we were back home and back to reality, and then I was back into work the following day. So yeah, that's my life wrapped up in a bubble.
It simple is nice though. Simple is nice. It's nice. It's not fun to have it chaotic and constantly kind of buzzing.
Yeah, yeah.
So MMA, it's as often as much a mental game as a physical game. Are there any coaches or fighters even who have had a profound impact on your mindset? Whether they're fighters that you don't know of that you would look up to, or coaches in the gym.
Yeah, definitely. Like Roddy has been a big, massive part of my life, especially with the MMA aspect. And then Paul Fogarty, my manager, he's that's the thing. Like Paul is not just a manager towards me, like he's like one of my best friends. You know what I mean? So he guides me into the right direction. He guides me into like everyday life, like even little questions that I have for him. He'll just hop on a call and we'll talk, or we'll go for a coffee. That's the good thing about it. But like just all the lads in the gym. Do you know what I mean? Like we're like a big family in there. Like so, whenever someone's in camp, we're all in camp. And
Yeah,
then if somebody doesn't have a fight lined up or whatever, they're still there for you, and like vice versa. So we're always bouncing off each other and we're motivating each other.
yeah,
But I'll say the biggest part of my life will definitely be my family, man. Like you know, it's just they're always there for me. They're always literally one phone call away. So it's yeah, it's just that's my motivation. Like that's really my motivation.
every fight camp is different. Do you approach everyone differently, or do you go into that same kind of mindset with every single camp? It's just focus, training, work, eat, sleep, train, work, eat, sleep.
Yeah,
Or
that's literally yeah, that's it. It's a routine at this stage. You know what I mean? Wake up, go to work, come home, take a nap, go train. So repeat that every single day. Obviously, depends on the opponent that I'm fighting. If I know the guy's a bit of a striker, be like, right, we'll predominantly like focus more on the grappling aspect, or if he's a grappler, we'll focus more on the striking aspect. But I'm not really so specific towards them. We just look at a few clips and we just work on what we need to do in the cage. But other than that, we just focus on getting better on myself in training, not like opponents change. You know what I mean? Like you can get pullouts, you can get like injuries. So like you just don't know. You just need to get better in the camp.
Yeah, yeah. So in your career, you face setbacks, you face difficult moments. How do you handle those difficult moments yourself? Do you find it easy to handle them? Do you find it difficult? And what are some of the most kind of important things you have learned from those difficult moments?
Yeah, every camp, um, there's obviously like some difficult times, like injuries or like I think was the worst one was just missing weight for PFL at lightweight. Like I made lightweight when I won the belt at LFL, and then we had some issues with the weight cuts and stuff. But yeah, it was a very tough pill to swallow. But I think it was just the fact that I had the close friends and family around me that kind of kept me grounded and just kind of, kept my head down. It was a dark place, but I just looked at the bigger picture, be like, right, do I just want to hang up my gloves and just cry in a corner for it, or do I actually want to prove people wrong and be like, right, let me move back up to welterweight where I fought before and just kind of shut everyone up again. And I've done that time and time again, and now I'm on the 5 win streak, so I want to keep that streak going.
Could we potentially see you back at lightweight for some fights in the future, or is that avenue that's been closed for at least for the next while?
It's a possibility I would be back, but I like at the moment with the way I work, it just doesn't work for me. Like dropping down to lightweight, obviously you need adequate sleep, you need a proper routine and stuff. But like when I'm getting up at 4 in the morning to go into work and then coming back, I have to like it's interrupted sleeps at night. Then I'm getting back home very late. So like all of the camp was just focused more on diet, diet, diet instead of actually enjoying training and just focusing just on training. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
in the future, I'm possibly there is a possibility I will drop down to lightweight again. But at the moment, we're working a 40-hour job. It's hard to do that.
Yeah, so you've achieved something really, really special now with your LFL titles. Looking ahead, but also looking back, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind when you're finished with your career? How do you want people to remember Andreas Binder when your
I
fight
just
career
want
does come to an
I
end
I just
in
want
10 years, 15 years' time?
yeah, I just want people from Galway where I grew up be like, right, he's the first professional MMA fighter to win like world titles from Galway. And just be an inspiration to young kids like that I have every single time I step in there like I'm saying a good role model for them, but also like I like to give back to the community as well. So it's just remembering me for the person I am, not some ego maniac or like cocky, arrogant. It's just the way I am. I do my talking in the cage, and a lot of
Yeah,
people always tell me, "Why don't you do a bit of trash talking and stuff?" I'm like, it's not me. I
yeah.
don't play like that. I do my talking in the cage, and I show it time and time again.
So every fighter has to make sacrifices along the way when you are kind of taking that path of becoming a professional.
Yeah.
What would be one of the biggest personal sacrifices you've had to make to pursue your MMA career? And
Um, I think it's just moving away from Galway, moving away from home. You see, when I joined Charlestown there 4 years ago, I remember I was driving up from Galway, 2.5 hours up, from Tuesday to Friday, just so I can train. And so like I'd work Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, straight after work. I'd hop in the car, go to training, sleep in my friend's couch up in Dublin and done that for 6 months straight. And then after that, I said it to the missus. I was like, look, I think enough is enough. Like I'm sick of doing this. I'm away from everyone. It felt like I was just never home. I wasn't home here and I wasn't home there. So we made the move. We moved into Navan and I said I'd rather drive 25 minutes into training and be present every day and be present at home as well instead of just like moving. But I'll say that's the biggest sacrifice, just moving away from all my friends and family, my hometown that I grew up in, and yeah, it was a weird one at the start, and obviously everyone gets homesick and stuff, but it's for my own career, and I had to make that move, and look at me now.
yeah, exactly. Life outside the cage, kind of when you're not fighting or not training. or working, what do you do to unwind? Are there any specific hobbies or interests that the people don't know about Andreas Binder?
So I'm a deputy manager in Aldi. I work that full time. I love I absolutely love cooking. I love cooking. Like I done that in college. You know, I done hotel and international management. So we done the culinary SARS and stuff. And I worked as a chef before, so I enjoy that. But yeah, probably just cooking, making fancy little meals and stuff like that for myself and the missus, and just going for long walks with the dog, man. That's I have a very simple life, you know. It's a routine that I'm really enjoying. Just put my feet up and watch a movie or a match, and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So your teammates and sparring partners are often kind of key like things to success in a gym. No one would get anywhere without them. Is there
Yeah.
anyone in particular from your gym or outside of your gym who's played a significant role in helping you grow as a fighter? Obviously, you have your coaches, but someone who wouldn't be a coach, a teammate, possibly.
Yeah, 100%. I have the lads in the gym, like say Alex Fagan, Aidan O'Boyle, Dean Fagan helped me big time in this camp. Janderson Castro, like they've been a massive part. For this camp in particular, I had Barry Dunn, who's a phenomenal grappler. Like so, he helped me big time against Melvin, and I felt like because Barry's about 107 kilos, you know what I mean, and then Melvin was 77, so I just felt like this is so easy now compared to rolling with him that's 107. But no, just the lads, every single one of them in the gym. Like obviously these lads would be more experienced fighters, but like even just looking at the little kids as well, like Cameron and Arlen and the rest of the boys looking up to me. They're kind of like driving me a bit more to train more, to be better. Because then I'll be like, right, I'm setting a path for you as well.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like it goes both ways. But no, it's just everyone in the gym. Like there's so many names, but like these will be the main lads that help me camp
yeah.
and camp and every single camp in there.
Yeah, with the fast-paced evolution of MMA, it seems like fighters are always learning and adapting. How do you stay on top of the latest trends in the sports in the sport, whether it's kind of new techniques, new recovery strategies, new training methods, or do you stick with just what you know and kind of focus on that?
It's I always love to try new stuff and whatever, but like if it's not broken, why fix it? Do you know what I mean? That's the way I see it. If it works for me and like the recovery sessions I do and whatever I do outside of camp or in camp, they work for me. No point of changing it. You know, I give it a go. Like say new stuff like I like flotation and stuff like that on salt float, and but it's just if it doesn't suit my lifestyle, I just can't do it. Like I'd rather just play it simple, and it works for me.
Yeah, I think that simple but effective. Simple but
Yeah,
effective. You don't need all these mad different therapies and all everything else. If you just what works for you, if it works, it works. Yeah,
exactly.
that's been us. Thank you so much for coming on, Andreas. Congratulations
Thank you.
again on becoming the double champion. Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing more of you very soon. Is there any possibility of fight news within the next couple months, or
We will definitely have fight news, hopefully by the first week of January or early February. So
would
that's
we?
it for
Could we
now.
have an idea whereabouts we'll see you fight? Not organization wise, but possibly would you fight in the US? Would you fight in
Could
Europe?
be
Would you fight
US, could be Europe. We just I don't know at the moment. Like I said, we just need to sit down and see what's the best route and what's the best option for us to
where?
take. But
Yeah.
regardless, I'll be ready for whatever promotion.
Okay. Thanks very much for coming on, Andreas. I really
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much, Roman. Thank you.